if your research proposal keeps coming back with comments like, this lacks clarity, this is too broad, or your argument is not strong enough, I know I also got that. This video is for you. Most research proposals don't fail because students are incapable. They fail because they lack structure and strategic clarity. So today, I'm going to explain 3 main reasons why your research proposal gets rejected and exactly how to fix it. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SA Sociology Hub. My name is Thandeka Sivanyoni, and in today's video, I will be giving you a structure on, just how to go through your research without having your supervisor coming back or giving you backs and forths. All right. So let's get to it. Mistake number 1 is that your topic is too broad. Many students choose topics that sound impressive but are impossible to research. Okay. Let me not say impossible to research, maybe impossible to manage. Within the time frame that you have, you need to make sure that your research proposal you can get participants, you will be able to get feedback from your supervisor, you are not going to use a lot of money. You can, there's a lot of things that you have to think about. And so, for example, a person can say, my research topic is the impact of social media on youth in South Africa. That is not a research topic. That's an entire field. There's a lot to maneuver, as far as knowing about the impact of social media on the youth in South Africa. And so your supervisor will definitely reject a topic like that because there's no clear focus. The scope it cannot be managed, and the research question becomes vague, right? So how can you fix this? You can fix it by looking at a specific group. You can focus on a specific context and have a clear theoretical lens. And so instead of looking at the impact of social media on youth, you can try how Instagram shapes body image perceptions among female university students in Johannesburg. Now that's focused. It is researchable. It is clear. You are focusing on a specific demographic at a specific, like a specific social media platform. You're focusing on a specific topic or a theoretical lens, which is body image or the perceptions of body image. And you're focusing at a specific demographic. That's female university students. Where? In Johannesburg. So you're also focusing on a specific geographical location. That's manageable. It can be done, The second mistake that students do, or that a lot of people do in their research topics, is that there's no clear research problem. Many proposals describe a topic, but they don't define a problem. And so you need to make sure that your topic, you understand that a topic is not a problem. And I used to make that mistake. I made that mistake in my honors where I was confusing a research topic to a problem. And I'll give you an example of a research problem. So a research problem looks at, it gives a brief background as to what has been happening on the issue of body image and or amongst Instagram, and what research has been done, or what do we see, what can we find today as far as the research as far as body image is concerned on Instagram, right? And you make sure that your problem tells us what is happening, why that matters, and what gap exists in the current knowledge. So this is what has been said about social media, about body image, as far as it's in Instagram. And this is where the gap, this is important because it needs it, women, a lot of people use Instagram. Social media today is a form of, it's people find a status quo on social media. And so, although that research has been done on Facebook, maybe on Twitter, it has never been done on Instagram. And so there's a gap. The gap is that we don't know how social media and Instagram, the role that Instagram plays as far as body perceptions are concerned. Now I'm giving you a whole proposal, right? But and so you can't clearly state what is, if you can't clearly state what is missing in the literature, then your proposal is weak, it's whack, right? So after your background section, you need to explicitly state, despite studies on X, little attention has been given to Y. In this study, or in the context of the context that you want to research, right? And then you'll say, this study aims to address the gap, this gap, right? That way we can clearly see that, okay, there was A and there was B. There was A, there was C. Where's B? So you're trying to show us where B is, right? And you don't have to tell us exactly how B can be found in your proposal. You're just identifying a gap. There's A, there's C, there's no B. Leave it there. This is what the study aims to look at. The study aims to find B. The third mistake, you will then, sometimes there's weak research questions. So if your research question is unclear, everything collapses. You need to understand your research topic is not your research question, right? So you need to make sure that from your research question or your research topic, a question is formed that you will seek to answer, right? And so if your research question is unclear, everything is going to collapse. You need to know that these are the common issues that we tend to see in research questions. Your research question could be too descriptive, could be too vague, too ambitious, and it's not aligned with your methodology. For example, what are the effects of poverty? That is not a research question. That is a social issue. So how can you fix that? Your research question must be specific. It needs to be researchable. It needs to align with your method. So you can ask yourself, can this realistically be answered within my time frame and the resources? You remember I mentioned time, I mentioned availability of participants, money, all these things. And so if not, then you need to refine your question, right? So what is it that your supervisors actually look for? They are focused on, they are looking for focus, clarity, feasibility, and logical structure. They're not looking for perfection. Yes, in your undergrad, there was perfection. A is A, 1 + 1 is 2. You need to answer that. But with research, 1 + 1 can be 3. It can be. And so I'm just joking, guys. But yeah, you need to throw away that idea of perfection, because you are not going to get your proposal or your research at one go. It's a process that you need. That's where the refining happens. So you need to understand that, okay, I'm going to make sure that there's focus, there's clarity, there's feasibility, and logical structure. You're telling a story. And as you're building, make sure that your story aligns, right? So it's the process, not perfection. Okay. If your proposal shows clear direction and academic thinking, it stands out immediately. And if this video was helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share for more structured research guidance, especially if you're working on your dissertation or just your proposal. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.